It's Frank Bonada here for LowKick MMA. With me today is Cage Warriors welterweight, middleweight, lightweight even.
Superstar.
Oban Elliott, the Welsh gangster, set to make his return to the cage against James Sheehan in April. Oban, thank you for your time. How are things with you today?
Very good, mate. Yeah, everything's in working order. They got the signature out of me in the end, and we're just it's a while off yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a massive fight, mate. You know what I mean? So the winner gets a title shot.
Is that it? Is it?
But I don't give a fuck. I literally, like that makes a fucking difference to me anyway. But yeah, it's a big fight, mate. And these are like me and Ian Dean spoke earlier today. Like, these are the big nights that I wanted, and he said, I'm not going to tell you what he said, but I stayed the course, and I've worked my way up to get to these nights, and it's going to be a big one.
Most certainly is. Yeah, I mean, like last time I spoke to you, I tried asking you about what you think about your next fight, or is there a title shot in the line or anything like that. This time, I mean, I am seeing the word like we're saying world title eliminator thrown around. Do you reckon that's it? Win? I mean, I guess for either of you, but like if you get this win, is that on the cards?
Yeah, well, I literally don't care anyway. Well, whether someone has got some fucking belt they can put on their shoulders, put Instagram photos with, and call themselves the champion, that's fine. But I wake up every single day and look myself in the mirror and see the fucking man, regardless of whether I've got a fucking belt or anything else. You know what I mean? But it is a world title eliminator. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah,
it's kind of obvious. He's on a good streak. I am who I am. So
you're also on a streak.
So, but yeah.
Beautiful. Just before we get into that one, how close we to getting the UFC call up for the Chris Duncan fight? How close?
It was close, mate. But again, like, this fight is like just as big an opportunity and just as big a chance. Like, that fight, obviously, like, I can't say too much, but like, we were talking. Not as much talking, but my manager was like talking with the UFC about me anyway. And then it just so happened that there was a pullout, and they got signed guys they're gonna go with first, or whatever. Like, it's not like that last minute, but I threw my name in the hat, and I feel like, well, I am like a big enough name, I guess, to even be in that conversation. And Chris Duncan straight away like bit to what I was saying. So then we had everything ready and there, and it was obviously up to the UFC. That was the only thing that we were waiting for. It's just what the UFC were going to say. And then when they got in their offices for matchmaking day, obviously we found out that they weren't going to go with me. I literally, again, hand on heart, do not care that didn't come to fruition. That would have just been that was just like that was just there to just a opportunity. Maybe they would have given it me, and then I'd get signed. But if not, if I got a massive opportunity to fight in Dublin, and that, I was so excited about this fight and this chance the whole time. I've known about this for a while, so it was like the choice of wearing a Burberry jacket or a Barber jacket, or like, do you know what I mean? You're gonna wear either.
Yeah.
So, or a Weekend Offender jacket, should I say?
Shout
out Weekend Offender. Should have fucking said Weekend Offender, but Burberry and Barber, it just comes to my head. It just rhymed. But yeah, who cares? Who gives a fuck anyway? Man versus man in a cage, whether it's Cage Warriors or UFC or wherever it's outside there. Don't care. Don't matter.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I think that, at least from my perspective looking in, sort of the best thing to come out of that is the fan response. Like, people were, booting off like everywhere. You're seeing it, people pushing for your name.
Mm.
And I think
Yeah,
that's sort of,
exactly.
it demonstrates that people are ready to see you on that next level of stardom, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that again, and you hit the nail on the head there. Not that I read too much into that, but the response was outstanding. I think it'll be a bigger response than whoever they put in this, whoever they give him. They're probably gonna get comments like, "Oh, I should have been me," and like I give a fuck anyway. But that's just the way things are, and I feel like, you know, I've kind of, I guess I've earned that rap because I literally, you know, I do what all these fighters talk about doing. I actually do it. Like, you know, I actually do fight anyone, and I do step up, and I do wear my heart on my sleeve and say it as it is, and go out there and fucking prove it at the same time. So I feel like that's why people get on board with me.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, 2022, what a year for yourself. How do you look back on it? Obviously, because you got a win over a former champion, you got a win upper weight class, but then there's like the amount of like pullouts you had, short notice fights. How do you look back at 2022 as a, you know, for your pro career?
Yeah, it was a very good one. For my professional career, it was excellent. It was one of the best years of my life, inside and outside the octagon. It was a great year. You know, I put my, as they say, I wouldn't say that. I left everything on the table, and you know, I was there to kill or be killed. I was there to succeed or fail in front of everyone. And I just, you know, I show people. I haven't showed people everything yet, but I've showed people who I am a bit better in the last year. And obviously, I'm not one to sit on my successes. I'm still chasing. Of course, I'm enjoying the victories I've had. So I know what it's like when you're coming off a loss. So I'm appreciating the good times, but I'm not sleeping. I'm not, you know, going to catch me slipping just because I've won a couple of fights in a row. I'm still coming for. I'm still, you know, one by one at a time. Same attitude towards it.
No doubt. So yeah, James Sheehan next over in his own backyard in Dublin. Yeah. So you are happy with the matchup? You happy with that one?
But yeah, I think like I'm not too sure how much I can say really without kind of fucking breaking that fourth wall. But after my fight in London, I think I was meant to be like the co-main event for that card because I remember Cage Warriors did this, like Paddy was breaking them down, and like I was he broke me down. He did it in like an order, then he broke me down, and then he did the title fight. So, but obviously that Skibinski pulled out, so that changed things. And then I went up to middleweight, and then I was fighting a guy who's got less fights. So I think like they wanted to, because I guess that one could have gone horribly wrong. So I think they tried putting my fight under the radar a little bit. So that's why I wasn't higher up the card. But after my fight, let's just say I spoke to certain people, I bumped into certain people, and they said, keep your eye on this one. The James Sheehan fight going on. And I knew then. And I'd have fought in then after there and then as well.
I bet
I'd have let him have a little drink first and relaxed a little bit, but we could have done it then. If I was, you know, not if it was up to me, I could have killed two birds with one stone with that little trip to London, but I got to wait till April. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at him as an opponent. Break that sort of fight down for me. Well, if you've had this much time to sort of, you know, you've known about the fight for a while, what do you think of him as an opponent?
I haven't watched him.
Really?
I watched him on the night. He had a good night. He had a good fight. I watched his fight with Richardson. He had a good fight against him. I seen him fight Ian Gary as well a few years ago. Yeah, he's a good look, mate. He's a good fighter. He can do it all. He's out of a great camp. He's a really respectful guy. He called me out in the fight in his interview, and he was really respectful about it. he recognizes who the man is in this weight class. Because Edith asked him about a world title fight, and his response was all about me. So respect there to Sheehan. He can he knows what's going on. He knows what the atmosphere is like in the dressing rooms and that. He knows who the man is. So look, mate, he's a great fighter, and we're gonna get it on. And I will probably be the most hated man in that arena. I will be we're already putting things in place for where I'm going to be going afterwards, and
really,
and all, because I just don't think that I'm going to be able to help myself when you got all them thousands of Irish people booing me, mate.
I mean,
you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
That was actually going to be my next question. Last time I spoke to you was before Ebbw Vale, right, in Wales. And I asked you, are you looking forward to having the people behind you? And you're just like, don't care. It's a fight. It's man versus man.
It's the same
answer, story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I haven't changed overnight. I don't know if, you obviously speak to a lot of fighters, but I'm still the same person.
Yeah. No, it's just enemy territory.
I'm still like, I'm getting there, and I'm getting close to my dream, And the closer I get to it, the more grounded I'm becoming.
Yeah.
And I'm just like focused on it, and, stripping things back and making sacrifices to make sure that there's, that nothing gets in the way of where I'm going. I've worked my whole life to get this far. And I didn't come this far just to get this far. So whether I'm fighting in front of all my friends, I'm still gonna have some of my friends there, or whether I'm fighting, the last time I fought someone in someone's hometown, I fought at the amateur days, Jamie Ward, and it fully kicked off in the crowd. It was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
fair enough. All right. How about this? Hypotheticals. To be honest, I feel like this is almost wasted on you because I know you're one fight at a time. But
okay.
But
look. I won't be a dick. I'll give you. I'll answer your questions.
Give me the content.
I'm not going to be like,
It's just fun looking at these sort of things. All right, realistically, big win over Sheehan. And they come to you. They say UFC contract, shot the belt. Which you take him?
Oh. I genuinely don't know. Oh, wow. It depends. I do know the business side of that is with the business way that would work. If Cage Warriors were to play ball with the negotiations, I would fight for the title. But we'll see. We don't know. Because you get that, you look, as I say, I'm not one to really care about belts, but once you win that title, you're known as a world champion, and that would mean a lot that would mean more to my family and my friends more than it does to me, but it would mean a lot. It would also mean a lot to me as well. So that would be a great milestone to achieve. But as you say, I got to get through this very tough man first, James Sheehan. And he's going to be taking me just as serious as I'm taking him. This is a really, really, really good fight.
Yeah, so, most certainly.
This is like a world title fight anyway.
Yeah.
It's like you got McKee versus Wallhead, and you got me versus Sheehan. You're telling me we couldn't do a Royal Rumble and all do just as good as each other against each other? No, like me against McKee, that's a massive fight. Me versus Wallhead, that's a massive fight. McKee versus Sheehan, that's a massive fight. Wallhead versus Sheehan, that's a massive fight. We're all just as good as each other. Some are just a bit further than the others, but that doesn't mean, as we said, like when I fought Matt Bonner, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he's just a little bit further ahead of me. He's done more things." It doesn't mean he's better than me, because when you look at the fight, I didn't didn't get touched. So it's one of them. Don't know. It's just I'm just pretty like as you know what I'm like with this kind of thing.
Who do you reckon gets that win in that title fight? McKee versus Wallhead.
It really does. Well, like Wallhead, like what's he done? He's come back. I think he had 2 first-round knockouts, hasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I know what that's like to have quick fights. You're almost like giving yourself ring rust. So when the fight goes into the later rounds, you like for me, if I can relate to him in any way, like I was getting all these quick wins, and I went maybe 3 rounds with Figlak. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh my god, this is just like, this is berserk. And I was in a bit, I wasn't, it like no matter how, I wasn't in the best shape. Didn't feel, I weren't feeling good for that fight at all. However, being in there for that long it was foreign to me. So like Jimmy has obviously had, what a fighter he is, what a man he is. I got loads of time for him. We all have, he's like a pioneer. Jimmy's been out of the game and he's come back. He's got these 2 quick wins. It's like if McKee's got that dog in him, maybe McKee's going to try and get him into the later rounds. But then look, Wallhead's got that dog in him as well. It's not like he takes a couple of years off. He's had like more fights than all of us put together. So who's to say that he's not just going to just unleash the beast in the same way? So I literally don't know.
Yeah,
I literally don't know. But I want them both to win. I don't want either of them to lose. They're both good guys. I spoke to them on like personal levels. So just like they'll tell you, probably may the best man win. I genuinely don't know who's going to win that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I literally don't know.
Cracking fight though. Cracking fight.
Yeah.
Going back to just quickly talking about potential title fights and that, you're talking about how the Figlak fight, 3 rounds. Maybe you weren't in the best shape back then and that, but it was a shock to the system. If you did get that title fight in Cage Warriors, that's a 5-round fight. How do you feel about going the full 5 and maybe getting that experience in before you take the step up to the UFC or
exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've done it. I've done the whole first round blasting people out. I did that, but from my first amateur fight to my 4th professional fight. So I had like nearly 4 years. No, I did have 4 years. Yeah, I did have 4 years, but I was just blasting people through in the first round. I'd take that experience with me. Like it really didn't do me any favors. I was going into fights more like, oh my god, what, like this is just getting ridiculous now. Like, well, what if I don't finish this guy straight away? So getting that experience is crucial, and I'd love to go with the 5-5. I feel like you could fight different in a 5-round fight. A 3-round fight, it's a bit, you can't really afford to really fight them, and suss them out. You got to just get after it as soon as the bell goes, because obviously it's 3 rounds, but with 5 rounds I feel like you can tell a bit more of a story. So I look forward to them days.
Most definitely. I'm sure they're ahead. Can I just quickly ask you about Jack Shaw? He's making the move up to featherweight, taking on Makwan Amirkhani. I mean, that's a fight that hurts me because I live in Wales. I always support the Welsh lads, but then I've got Finnish heritage, so got to support both bodies. But how much of a difference do you think we're going to see in Jack's game when he's probably fighting now? He's at featherweight.
Well, I guess you could probably say, look what happened with me.
Yeah.
So it's going to be new to him, but mate, cutting all that weight is no good to anyone.
Yeah.
And you do it, And as an athlete and as an elite athlete that Jack is, he probably was just like competitive with himself in order to like he didn't want to bitch out of that weight cut. So he kept taking fights at bantamweight, and then he kind of got to the point where I think he even got like medically signed off from Ever. He should never do that weight again. So like, I feel like the best is yet to come for the tank.
Absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
and that Makwan Amirkhani, like he's pretty good, but again, he's not
gas tank, isn't it?
He's not fucking Jack Shaw, is he?
Yeah. I mean, you only have to look at guys like Nathaniel Wood. I mean, he made the move up recently, and he's
Yeah,
incredible
exactly.
in the weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's yeah, it's weird. But then you see like Alex Pereira cutting like mad weight and just fuck it. He's just like a fucking. That's what inspired me to consider going to lightweight again. Because I saw him, I was like, well, if he can do 185 and he's 10 years older than me, I could probably do 155 if I fucking figured it out. But that's why I was trying to pursue that UFC fight. But
yeah, how would that cut be for you?
Well, it was fucking terrible when I last did it. So fuck knows, mate. Fuck knows. I'm not a small guy by any stretch of the imagination. So, but I've heard that the bullies in the UFC are big. Like Sheehan may drop down. But he's a big guy as well. So I don't fucking know, mate. Who knows? Who really cares? When you're talking about weight classes with me, I am definitely someone who does not care. So
that much is clear.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke, you mentioned that you're almost a bigger fan of boxing than you are like MMA, just watching it. Let me ask, Francis Ngannou, right? He might be making that switch over. Do you reckon he could have success in boxing at all?
Yeah, if he fucking lands, but
yeah,
it's a different game altogether, man. It literally is like, it is just a different game altogether. It's not, there's I personally find it very, very completely non-similar when you're actually like doing the 3-minute rounds and just punching. Like boxing, just like constant fucking bang, 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 bang. MMA is a bit of, there's more room to move, fake more stuff. But I would, he did something that we can all look up to, not just in like professional life, but like life in general. When you know your fucking worth, stand up for it. He did something brilliant there. He gave up his UFC title for because of his morals. Like that's something to behold in it. So yeah, I do think he's going to have success in boxing. Who's to say any of us? Who are any of us to say that he isn't going to succeed in boxing? He's the fucking baddest man on earth.
Absolutely.
He's going to go out in boxing and hit someone's head clean off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then also just sort of piggybacking off that, Jon Jones is finally coming back at heavyweight now, taking on Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
How do you think he's going to fare up at upper weight class?
Fucking hell, mate. It's huge, isn't it? We'll see how much. We'll see if the steroids have done him any favors. Yeah, he is the main man, and Jon Jones. I don't know. Like Gane is like he's a bit of a freak, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of poetic. DC commented this. It's kind of poetic now because like no one's going to call him the legit heavyweight champion if he does win. The same way everyone called DC the non-legit like heavyweight champ. So Jones is going to have to kind of say DC was the legit. I know he beat him, but every fight is different from one day to the next. So, but Jones is going to have to kind of admit DC was the legit like heavyweight title holder before he admits to being the legit heavyweight champion. Because otherwise, he's just a fucking hypocrite, isn't he? So, but I hope Johnny Bones wins. He's a fucking. I've watched his whole career, so I hope John wins.
Awesome. All right, mate. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much.
Sorry if I was fucking. Sorry, I don't know. I don't say it as it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why I enjoy it. That's why I enjoy the interviews with you.
Me and Sheehan's a big fight, but to be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Absolutely.
Man.
He is the man, Mr. Oban Elliott. Any sponsors or shout outs you'd like to give? Floor is yours, mate.
Weekend Offender.
Hey.
Tatami. Elite Vehicles Direct. Guy the Barber. JLC. Lowest Groundworks. Combat Sports Wales. I should have put the fucking walkout t-shirt there. Topology. I think that's everyone.
Yeah.
Topology. Yeah. Elite. Yeah. Done everyone. Yeah. Top man, Frank.
Sweet. Thank you, mate. Best of luck in the upcoming fight.
Thank you, brother. Top man.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.